really excited to welcome them and look forward to keeping you up to date as the summer continues and how they're getting along.
We look forward to that as well. Ted Ufkus, COO Professional Swine Management, here on the RFD Livestock Report. Hey, good morning. Welcome to RFD Illinois. I'm Rita Frazier.
I'm DeLois Yonke. Hello there.
Hello. And another weekend is behind us, and we know brighter things will be coming our way.
Boy, I would like to think so. That's something to hold on to, isn't it?
Something to hold on to.
But, my goodness, mid-May now. Mid-May at this point. And, I don't know, at least where I was, temperature didn't reach 60. So, it's time to be outdoors and do outdoorsy, stuff. So, hopefully some of that outdoor stuff can be field work and planting progress in the coming days.
Correct. And then you were in some really interesting conversations last Friday, a special roundtable on RFD Today.
Yeah, very good chat with that. And more chat coming up with corner economist Mike Doherty, senior economist at Illinois Farm Bureau, who was part of that chat. And we'll talk about tariffs and some studies that tariffs have found. It's not going to warm your Monday, I can assure you of that. So we have that to look forward to.
Well, hopefully everybody had a good Mother's Day and had so much of a good thing that will carry us on through the week.
What about for you, for Mother's Day? Because some mothers want to be left alone.
Oh.
Some mothers want to be doted.
Yeah.
How about you?
Whatever. Just as long as I'm with family, that's good.
Okay.
Right?
That's good. I like a low-maintenance request like that.
I already feel like I had really gotten a present last week because Alexa cleaned her room without anybody asking her to.
Wow.
That was my gift.
Hope she's okay.
We'll have more news coming your way. Stay with us.
With this week's edition of Farm Week, the early word, here's DeLois Yonke.
Planting delays continue throughout the state due to persistent rainfall. However, University of Illinois agronomist Emerson Nafziger says there's no need to panic. Learn more about potential yield losses due to delayed planting in the latest edition of Farm Week. Harold Wilkin and his son Ross grow organic crops and operate a grain mill in Iroquois County near Danforth. Turn to Farm Week for details about their unique operation. Arriving soon in your mailbox.
No other Farm Weekly in Illinois has as many people on the ground in Illinois covering Illinois agriculture for you with the depth on key issues to help keep you profitable. And don't forget, you can get daily or even more frequent updates online anytime at farmweeknow.com.
Welcome back to RFD Illinois. I'm DeLois Yonke. We have a statement from Illinois Farm Bureau President Rich Giebert made Friday after there didn't appear to be any resolution in U.S.-China trade talks. Quote, the Illinois Farm Bureau is disappointed in the breakdown of the negotiations between China and the U.S. to address long-standing trade issues between the two nations. We are also deeply concerned about the imposition of the retaliatory tariffs that could further impact agriculture. Tariffs historically have not been good for the farm economy. Farmers are on the front lines of this trade war and are sacrificing their livelihoods, and it hasn't got better. We're sitting on a huge inventory of grain while our export markets are diminishing, unquote. That from, again, the Illinois Farm Bureau President Rich Giebert. And more to this, as well as evidenced by Friday's reports, like the World Ag Supply and Demand estimates. Brian Basting at Advanced Trading also talks about not just the fact that we have huge supplies here in the U.S., but there's greater production among some of our top competitors to the south.
Strong export competition is going to be seen this year from South America. The USDA today boosted the Brazil crop that they're harvesting at the moment to 100 million tons. That would be a record, beating the 98.5 million harvested it would be 2 years ago. So rebound in Brazil. Last year's Brazil crop, for example, was only 82 million tons, so a substantial rebound. projected in that Brazil crop for the crop they're harvesting at the moment here in 2019. Argentina is also forecasted to have a record crop. That was increased this month to 49 million tons. That would be a record. And last year's crop, for example, in Argentina was only 32 million tons. So basically more than a 50% increase in Argentina production. Those bushels from Brazil and Argentina will begin entering the world pipeline this summer and compete with the U.S. origin all the way through the rest of calendar year 19.
Brian Basting at Advanced Trading, Farm Week Stan Grant, was kind enough to share audio. And we'll talk more about tariffs in just a little bit with Mike Doherty, in the Corner Economist segment. Meanwhile, to D.C., where Congress is making another go at disaster aid, including help for Midwest farmers stricken by historic flooding, though Senate action was still in question. Our Washington correspondent Matt Kay reports.
$3 billion more for flood and other storm losses of crops, dairy, and on-farm stored commodities in the Midwest and elsewhere, plus Army Corps Project storm repair help. Texas Republican Mike Burgess says it's the third try over 6 months for lawmakers to get desperately needed disaster help across the finish line.
This third iteration of disaster relief legislation is similar to a bill passed by the House in January of this year, with an additional $500 million for the Department of Agriculture's Emergency Conservation Program to rehabilitate damaged farmland, $1.5 billion for the Army Corps of Engineers for projects of flood mitigation, and $1 billion for the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Account for rebuilding houses, businesses, and public infrastructure.
But Republicans largely opposed the $17 billion measure when Democrats blocked more money for border security and humanitarian help. The bigger fight, though, is in the Senate, where Democrats killed an earlier bill in a spat with the president over the adequacy of Puerto Rico hurricane aid. A new GOP offer includes more for the island. Back in the House, Appropriations Chair Nita Lowey had this.
American citizens are relying on our federal government to deliver a robust disaster relief package. They've waited long enough, and frankly, they can't afford to wait any longer.
But several farmers told House Ag lawmakers last week even disaster aid won't be enough to cover losses, with some estimates now hitting more than $12 billion in the Midwest alone. For the RFD Radio Network, Matt Kay, Washington.
Thanks, Matt. By the way, getting back to the reports Friday, including World Ag Outlook Board, which suggested corn crop for this year anticipating 176 bushels per acre, so no change to that estimate. And the estimate assumes normal planting progress as well as normal summer growing conditions. We'll get new numbers from Ag Statistics later today, but we went from 9% planted to 10% last week and don't expect a whole lot of progress in this week's report either. More to come on RFD, Illinois.
Are you preparing for planting season? We don't mean to be a pest, but here's a few things you need to know before you grow. The Illinois Department of Agriculture now requires special local needs labels, including new restrictions for the use of herbicide dicamba on top of soybeans in Illinois for the 2019 growing season. Did you know these additional restrictions go beyond federally approved labels? Remember, the label is the law. To find out more about these Illinois-specific labels, visit ilfb.org/label-aware.
Attention corn farmers. Your corn checkoff dollars are working with the U.S. Meat Export Federation to grow red meat export volumes. Because when we're exporting beef, we're also exporting corn. The beef industry consumes 28% of all corn fed to livestock, plus additional corn in the form of DDGs, a co-product of ethanol production. Now that's what we call working an angle. Your checkoff is working corn from all angles. Because of the Illinois Corn Marketing Board, your profitability is our bottom line. A message from the Illinois Corn Checkoff.
May is Beef Month in Illinois, and there is no better time to highlight the cattlemen's commitment to quality within every segment of the beef industry. Cattlemen and women are committed every day, rain or shine, to taking care of their cattle. This commitment ensures that quality care leads to a quality product. What's more, 4,500 cattle farmers in Illinois are certified through the Beef Quality Assurance Program, which reinforces the importance of thoughtful, responsible beef production. A message from Illinois' beef producers and their checkoff program.
Welcome back to RFD, Illinois. On a Monday, I'm DeLawrence Yonke with the Corner Economist, Mike Doherty, senior economist at Illinois Farm Bureau. Hello, Mike.
Hey, DeLoss.
What do you got for me?
Oh boy, what do you got for me on a Monday? Let's just open a wound and pour some salt in it. How about that?
Did you get on Amazon and make all your purchases of Chinese electronics over the weekend before those tariffs?
Before the tariffs took place? No. Well, I like to shop local. I don't buy on Amazon.
Right, and your locals are not going to look at the competing price of a Chinese good, which is now increasing, to set their price locally. Right? Of course they will. So, no, yeah. Sorry, that ain't going to help. That ain't going to help you anyway. No.
We had a really good discussion Friday, RFD Today. You were in. Adam Nielsen was in, Illinois Farm Bureau's National Policy Development Director. And Don Schaefer was in, Executive Vice President, Midwest Truckers. And we were talking about this sort of thing, because we had a roundtable discussion about trade and the tariffs that are associated with these trade wars and, impacts that has. Who eventually pays for these sort of things?
Yeah, I think just a really good working example. This is a very recent study out of University of Chicago. They were just looking at the impact of the tariffs in 2018. And just on washing machines alone, they estimate the tariffs led to about a 12% increase in the price of a wash machine in the U.S. So although the U.S. government did collect more money from the new tariffs against imported wash machine, about $80 million the U.S. collected, but the consumers paid for that basically in the form of a higher price because they had to tack on to make up for that the tariff they were going to have to pay. The exporter over in China or wherever, they add that to the price when they bring it in. They're like, okay, well we've got a tax against our product that we're going to sell to the Americans. And last month we did not. And maybe my wash machine, I'm a Filipino and I put together a wash machine. I drop it off at Long Beach Harbor, California. I say, okay, give me $500 and I'll walk away and you get the wash machine. But oops, now the U.S. government says, but you got to pay us an extra $50 on that. Well, now who's going to pay that $50?
Eventually.
The exporter? No, the exporter is going to say, well, I got to cover that cost. That's now a cost of doing business with the U.S. Otherwise, I'll export that wash machine somewhere else where I don't have to pay that tax.
I'm not just going to take a loss on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I mean, it's not a write-off or anything like that.
Right. So
where am I going to find that $50?
So the total, in the case of just wash machines, the University of Chicago study showed that consumers paid about $1.5 billion in higher prices because of that.
Over how long?
But apparently just since, according to the study, it doesn't say how long. I don't have that in front of me. So, but eventually, but far more than the tax itself.
Wow.
And this is true across all the other tariffs. And then, talking about what happened in the last Friday with the increase in the tariffs, we'll all pay in terms of as far as higher prices when we go shopping. Because we're an importing country. This is the whole idea, right? It's net importing. But then if those countries, certainly they will retaliate. They'll say, look, you're taxing our product. And that works against our interests. You've added to our cost of doing business with your country. So we're going to add to your cost of doing business with us. Mm-hmm. That's the retaliation part. So we're going to put a tariff on your products. That's what happens. And now you're losing two ways. Your consumers are losing right off the top in the U.S. because they're paying a higher price for any goods that are brought in over the top of that tariff because that tariff has increased that price. And then anybody who's producing products that we're selling to that country, they also are losing.
Okay. And so we talked about this sort of thing with red meat going to Japan, for example.
Right.
So Japan, with this 38% tariff, you might say U.S. beef is the best in the world, and I think you'd be right. But at a 38% tariff, now it's more expensive than others. So I might just say, well, I'll just go. I know it may not be the best, but I'll go elsewhere to find it.
Exactly.
And that's how we get hurt by that sort of thing.
Yes, exactly right. That's right.
Wow. Now
if people are interested, they should I would recommend they go to the taxfoundation.com. It might be an org, actually, Tax Foundation. You could probably Google it up or Yahoo it up or whatever. And they have a whole page out just on the impacts of the tariffs, this new round of tariffs that were announced last Friday. And it's a great page because you can click on any piece of the drop-down menus and it will automatically calculate it. They say they're going to update these every week.
Oh, boy.
So it'll be regularly updated on what the impact is going to be on the U.S. economy of these tariffs. And it depends how far they are implemented and whether or not another round is implemented on top of these. But it's starting to add up to being a significant part of the entire gross national product of the United States. Or you could look at it and say it's a significant increase in the equivalent of my income taxes. We all know this, right? If you either increase your income taxes go up, or you're living somewhere and the local municipality slaps some sales tax on you, right? It makes no difference. I mean, it's still just money out of your pocket either way.
I want to throw this out. We don't have time to really discuss it, but I want to throw this out that once you get used to that price, what if the tariff went away and you're used to that price? The price doesn't necessarily have to go back down. Like that $50 example?
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily have to go back down again.
It probably won't.
Probably won't.
Because they say prices are sticky downwards.
Sticky downwards. Yeah. That's right. Well, happy Monday, everyone. That's Mike Doherty. We'll break down for markets and weather.
With the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Monday morning, I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all ending Friday slightly lower. May corn closing at 342.5 down 2. July corn down 1.5, 351 3/4. September corn 361 down a penny. May beans closing at 797 down 3 1/4. July beans down 3.5, 809 1/4, and August beans 815 3/4 down 3 3/4. May wheat closing Friday at 419 down 2 3/4. July wheat 424 3/4 down 4 3/4. September wheat down 4 3/4, 433 3/4. May bean meal 284.10 down 120. May bean oil 26.50 up 16 cents. In current electronic overnight trading, July corn down 2 3/4. September corn down 2 3/4. December corn down 2.5 at 369.5. July beans in the overnight down 8. August beans down 7 3/4, and September beans down 7.5, 814. July wheat in the overnight down 2.5. September wheat down 3 1/4, and December wheat down 2 3/4 at 445.5. In the outside markets, July Brent crude oil 70.62 up 23 cents a barrel. The June gold contract down 3.90 this morning, 12.83.50. In the livestock market from Friday, May lean hogs 83.75 unchanged. June lean hogs 89.67 down 32 cents. June live cattle 112.45 up $0.50. August live cattle up 130, 108.90. May feeders 137.62 up 137. August feeder cattle 146.82 up 235. Illinois direct barrels and gilts trading steady on Friday at 51 to 57. And I'm Jim Taylor with the RFD Radio Network.
Good morning. This is meteorologist Anthony Baglione with the early morning ag weather update on the RFD Radio Network for this Monday morning. Daytime highs were in the low to mid-50s across much of Illinois yesterday. Rain chances have been fairly slim across most of the area, with generally overcast skies and seasonable temperatures being the predominant weather in place. Some areas near the Iowa border, however, did pick up some decent rainfall. This is in an area that has been soaked for some time and does not need more rain. As such, a flood warning remains in place for areas near the Illinois River in Peoria. If you encounter a flooded roadway, make sure to turn around and avoid going through areas of high water. An area of high pressure will build into the region for most of the beginning of the week, which should make for a nice start on Monday and Tuesday. High temperatures will top out in the upper 60s on Monday with clear and sunny skies. Winds will be from the north-northwest and generally between 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tuesday should be warmer and beautiful with high temperatures in the upper 60s with some spots reaching 70 degrees. Rain chances ramp up by the time we head into late Tuesday night, especially into the early morning hours on Wednesday. Rain looks especially likely across southern Illinois with a few scattered showers possible across the rest of the state. By Wednesday during the day, scattered showers are possible, although the bulk of the rain begins to move east out of the area. Highs today on your Monday will be in the upper 50s and low 60s with low temperatures overnight in the mid to upper 40s. The 6 to 10 day outlook outlines above average temperatures and rainfall chances, which does not bode well for spring planting. Monday and Tuesday will definitely be the pick days of the week with clear dry time and comfortable temperatures. Throughout the middle to end of the week, isolated to more scattered rain chances are possible, with no day being completely rain-free. Once again, I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione from Freeze Notice Weather.
Spring is here and things are buzzing. Farmers and pollinators are working together to help feed us. In fact, 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat exists because of bees, butterflies, birds, bats, and other insects. Pollinators are important to our food system and the ecosystem overall. That's why farmers and those in the agricultural industry are working together to protect pollinators through education, research, and conservation efforts. Visit ilagformonarchs.org to join the buzz. That's ilagformonarchs.org.
What's the excitement about buying a brand new car when you pay full price for it? County Farm Bureau members have a reason to be excited. A Farm Bureau membership gives you 2 car purchase discounts. When members buy a new Ford vehicle, they receive $500 off their purchase. And with a purchase of a qualifying Lincoln vehicle, they receive $750 off. Everyone loves a good deal, and the money saved is worth the price of our annual membership. This is just one of our 300,000 plus discounts that are always changing to fit our members' needs. Not a Farm Bureau member? Visit Illinois Farm Bureau online and join today.
All Ag.
All Illinois.
All now.
There are a lot of smartphone apps out there, but do they have what's important to us here in Illinois? The Farm Week Now app does, and it's always at your fingertips. All Ag, all Illinois, and 24/7 where and when you need it for free. Go to your app or Play Store on your smartphone, hit search, type in Farm Week Now, that's one word, and download it today. Brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau, where we're all about farm, family, and food.
Farm Week and FarmWeekNow.com journalist Dina Stroish connects rural routes for you. From the Farm Bill to crop insurance to GMO labeling, her expertise is apparent in the stories she reports. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I get to meet interesting people and share their stories, and I get paid to do it. I cover ag policy and really enjoy keeping the farming community updated on these important issues.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
Hey, that's all the time we have for this edition of RFD Illinois. Thanks for spending some time with us today.
All right, we salute the community. What's coming up?
You know, like Memorial Day, Italian American Days in Beneld, Illinois.
So this year will be the 66th annual.
Wow.
So what was it? Was it the meatball sandwich? What was it?
The free spaghetti?
Free spaghetti.
Yeah.
All you could possibly...
I think it's on Sunday afternoon, but check it out. It's a great place to be.
That sounds pretty good. Sponsored by Country Financial. Your farm is your family's legacy and part of your hometown heritage. While you work sun up to sundown,